Tonight on The Ronnie Show. Other thing I wanted to talk about was, even though this is the season 8 premiere, there is still one episode from season 7 that is yet to be aired yet.
Love me or hate me, who ain't changing, and I don't give a.
Thank you.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Don't hide no emotions. Wear 'em on my
Thank
sleeve.
you.
All my feelings Gucci.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to season 8 of The Ronnie Show. So glad you could be with us here today on, well, tonight, I guess. It's a Saturday night. We're here live at our brand new studios. Now, normally we'll be upstairs, but I thought the Grandioso staircase would be perfect to get things going with this brand new season. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So, yeah, this is season number 8. Yes, this is the longest running show here on RVN. So, we're so glad you could be with us here for that. Of course, our very first episode, well, we actually did a pilot way back in 2017 with a couple of my friends, and then we officially got going in 2018 with a few of my friends, and safe to say, this show has definitely changed a lot throughout the last, 7 years we've been on, 7 years / 8 seasons. So, yeah, so this is our summer season. Well, yeah, the new season starts in the summer, like right now. So, yeah, we'll have, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 episodes throughout the summer, and then on Fridays. And then we'll have our 12 days of giveaways. That'll bring the episode count to 25. And then we'll have various shows throughout the rest of the year in between both of those times. So yeah, we should be here for about another 40-ish episodes. So yeah, that's great for you guys. And I'm very lucky that we could be doing these shows because I love doing them. So, yeah, so like I said, there's going to be a couple of changes this season. We're going to try and stick to the format that we had for the discussion shows that we did for during the Musketeer season. We're going to do it like that. So we'll still do that, but then we will also have kind of our game. We'll still have our game at the end of the show like we do for the normal summer series. We're not going to have it here tonight, but yeah, so but it will be back next week. You can count on that. So yeah, that's pretty much what the new season 8 is going to be like. And another thing I wanted to talk about was, even though this is the season 8 premiere, there is still one episode from season 7 that is yet to be aired yet. Normally, stuff like that doesn't happen, where I just don't go and where I completely film an episode and I don't air it because I just think that's a waste of my time. And that's a waste of our production team's time and, cost us money. So yeah, because we are on a budget after all here on the Ronnie Show. Well, all of our shows are on budgets, but yeah. So because of that, we're not just gonna lose out on all the money we could have gotten from airing the episode and all the money we lost. So we're just gonna air it, and I'm gonna give kind of some context on what it's all about, pretty much. So we were doing graduation week on the Ronnie Show. We were going to have episodes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then skip Thursday, and then do Friday, Saturday. That was supposed to be the original plan, but then there were some interesting circumstances that happened that kind of caused us not to finish out the week. So you got the first 2 days out of the way. However, you have not seen day number 3. And I'll explain why in that episode, why that came to be and I'll explain afterwards because I don't think I explained in the episode why we're not, A, finishing out that week, and B, what happened that caused, us to not air any more episodes that week, and you only got the 2. So yeah, this will be kind of a conclusion of putting all the questions to rest because our Twitter blew up once we saw that, or once we, obviously showed to all of you that we weren't going to be on Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. So, or X, not Twitter, X. What am I saying here? Jeez Louise. I still call it Twitter. That's all. I don't know why I do, but I do. So yeah, you're going to see the intro and part 1 of that episode, and I will be back on to explain some more. So yeah, here is part 1 of day number 3 of graduation week. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ronnie Show. So glad you could be with us here tonight. It is night number 3, yes, of graduation week around here on the Ronnie Show. As you know, this week we are celebrating the fact that I am graduating from high school. Yes, this coming Sunday. So yeah, very exciting stuff around here. Very exciting. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it right away. As you know, we've been kind of going down memory lane one time, or this week, really. Just talking about all the different memories I have from high school and, well, middle school, and then we did elementary school Monday. And apologies, I want to say that now. Apologies for that being a late night upload. Let's just say these last 24 hours have been quite interesting for me as I'm filming this. So, yeah, we're just going to leave it at that for now. We might discuss it a little later on in the show, but yeah, so we're going to start off with my freshman year. Obviously a new place. I'm being intertwined with people from 3 or 4 other schools. So it was definitely going to be quite the experience. I'll just say that. But safe to say, we all pretty much glued together, I guess that would be the right word to say, almost instantly. So, yeah, that was something good about that. Of course, not everybody gelled together. Gelled, that was the word I was looking for. Gelled together. But I think by about the first month or so, we all pretty much knew each other and knew what we were all about and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was kind of a fun time. So was my video design class, because that was really the first, I didn't realize you could do like all this other stuff. I mean, I knew there was going to be the basic math and English, but there's like all these other classes too you could do, and that really I found that interesting. So yeah, dog's going bananas upstairs. That's nothing new. But yeah, so it's just kind of an interesting freshman's year. I wouldn't say anything too crazy happened, I guess, but nothing bad really happened either, for that matter. So yeah, at least not that I can remember. Oh, there were some interesting incidents that happened, but I'm not gonna talk about them because that would be, I don't want to put stuff out that people don't want me to talk about. So yeah, there were a couple of fishy incidents that happened. That's all I'm going to say. That made things quite interesting. And then sophomore year, yes, that was probably, well, I think sophomore year was probably my favorite year of high school, to be quite honest with you. I mean, yeah, I would say that, actually. I think, yes, I think sophomore year would be a good way to, well, it was a pretty great year anyway, but I mean, yeah, so we had this teacher come in for physical science, and he was quite the character, I'll just say that. And he didn't even make it to the semester, so that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to go in depth of what happened or anything like that, but it was definitely an interesting 4 months, I'll just say that. And then, yeah, so we had that happen, and then there was something else I was going to say too, but well, I'll just say this. The rest of the year was quite boring. I'm not going to lie after that. because all of our excitement and stuff just kind of went out the window once he had gotten let go. So, but I remember the day he got let go too. Like, it was yesterday because we had a 2 hour early out. So that was obviously quite notable. And then some other things, some other dominoes fell into place that just made for a really memorable day. I'll just say that. Yeah, like I said, sophomore year after that was a little boring. But although I will say in physical science, with our new, well, substitute for the rest of the year, who is the chillest person of all time, I gotta say. In a good way, though. In a good way. Like, he still wanted us to, learn and get our work done, but he was pretty chill after that. He was kind of relatable, I guess. He is relatable. In fact, he still subs to this day. So, yeah, but there's this, like, planetarium that they set up in the gym, and you could see, like, all the stars and the planets. That's when we, were talking about that. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, really, the first 2 years were, I wouldn't say, freshman year, my one teacher gave our whole class a detention and then took it right back because we were all innocent. But that's a story in and of itself. I got to be quite honest with you. But yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Ronnie Show. Well, let's continue on with graduation day, day number 3. Yeah, like I said, this episode was supposed to air on May 14th, but now we're airing it now, almost a month later. I know, very funny stuff. Well, let's continue on with graduation day number 3. Welcome back, everybody, to the Ronnie Show. We're going to continue on our quest down memory lane. So, whoops. So, yeah, now we're into junior year, and that's, when all the counselors start coming in and start talking about college and all of that good stuff. That's, although it didn't start early, it started more towards second semester, but still, yeah, that's kind of when all that got started. Safe to say, it was, well, another interesting year. I don't think I've had really a normal year of high school, to be quite honest with you. And that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. That's, hey, it's just the way it is sometimes. But, yeah, junior year, it was going well. Our school got to go to the Peach Bowl. So, yeah, if it wasn't for my father's passing that March, I probably would have ranked junior year as my favorite year of high school. Well, I guess senior year now is kind of overtaken it, but still, junior year was one of my best years ever, I gotta say. Despite, with the Peach Bowl and my dad's death and, well, really, when he started declining in health, that was still one of my favorite years. Well, I guess if we were to compare them in school history, I would say senior year was number 1, junior year number 2, sophomore year number 3, and then I could go a mixed bag of what was my favorite after that, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, junior year was going pretty good. Nothing too wild, just like the regular school activities. And then, of course, in March, like I said, and you knew that too, my father had passed away. So that was kind of a little sad. Well, definitely a whole lot of sad, I'll tell you that much. But, yeah, that's, but everybody kind of rallied around me. They all sent me cards and stuff, and I was very grateful. I mean, they didn't have to do that, but they did, and for that, I am forever grateful. I just gotta say that. So, yeah, and then, I went on, the rest of junior year, like normal. Of course, last year was also memorable because the Muskies made a deep playoff run. So, yeah, that was definitely something to put in there too. Yeah, and then senior year, my goodness me, a lot has happened senior year. I mean, I'm surprised I'm even having time to film film these videos and still do these streams, because there's been a lot going on, of course, to get me prepared for college. So, yeah, I guess we'll start out at the beginning, every year beforehand in my entire school career, the first day of school was always a half a day. Well, I didn't know until the day of the first day of school that it was going to be a full day. And when they set out the master calendar over the summer, I thought, even though it wasn't specifically marked to be a half a day, I thought still we were going to have half a day, because that was, common, it wasn't too, it happened every year, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. But no, it was a full day. And I tried to text my mom saying, because I wasn't driving yet, hey, we have only half a day, blah, blah, blah. She didn't respond, and she actually showed up at school when I was having lunch. So, yeah, that was when she, I think, got the message that I wasn't going to be outside waiting for her. So, yeah, that's okay. It happens. Well, and it was a Friday, too, so what's the point of... I guess you could make the point of, what's the point of going to school for half a day on a Friday? Although technically the freshmen start the day beforehand, so that Thursday. So, and that's a half a day. So, what can you do in that situation? Except, just do that. And then the senioritis kind of started kicking in quite early. In fact, I think it was like the third day of school I actually missed, because I did not want to... go. Simple as that. I just did not want to go. And that's when the senioritis kicked in. I know for seniors, it doesn't start kicking in until, like seconds, like right now, although we have 3 days of school left. Yeah, it doesn't start till right now. Well, I guess a couple of months ago, but it started right off the bat for me. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I don't know why. It just did. I think the fact that I was a senior kind of put the thought in my head of, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I've been in school now for 12 years, pretty much the same hours. I'm done, pretty much. I'm done with this. And, so yeah, that did kind of start hitting me early. I didn't expect it to hit as early as it did, but, it definitely did hit, for sure. And then once we got over that, it was a pretty solid year. And then, of course, February 11th happened, and that was the day my mother passed away. So, yeah, that was a rough go, that whole day. I mean, I can pretty much in detail go kind of in order of the events that happened that day, starting out from, when I woke up to, well, when I went to bed that night, pretty much. So, yeah, that's one of those things where, you won't ever forget that. And, you kind of want to forget it, but you really can't, because it's just so memorable. I mean, you'll always remember things like that, those negative, those sad thoughts. And, it is devastating. I mean, I remember the day my grandfather died. I remember the day my father died. I remember the day my grandmother died. And they weren't my grandmother and grandfather that have died. They were on separate sides, so at least that's good. Yeah, so those were quite... Oh, and I remember when both of my dad's brothers died. My uncles died. So, yeah, I like how... Well, I don't like it, but it's just interesting how we remember those moments. But it feels like we remember more negative things than we do positive things. At least, the way my life has gone over the first 18 years. But those are just things that happen. I mean, they're inevitable. I mean, and you can't really prepare for those moments. I mean, sure, you might know that somebody's going to pass away, but, you never know what date, what time, what minute, what second, what millisecond it's going to happen. So, and I definitely have learned that the hard way. That is for sure. But yeah, continuing on, I was out of town for pretty much a week. I didn't film or do anything. In fact, I left a little note. I think it was that night saying that all programming for the next couple of weeks will be suspended until further notice. So yeah, because I think putting that message out to at least a lot of my viewers kind of said that, you know, oh God, something happened to him or what have you. Because I try my best to put something out every weekend. Well, every week, I shouldn't say every weekend, but every week, whether it's, you know, like a regular YouTube video or if it's like a gigantic Saturday or Friday or Sunday or whatever day we're on for that show. I at least try to have something out. So, yeah, so I think that kind of alarmed some of you at least. So, yeah. It's just been a crazy ride, and I'm actually living in my principal's basement, so yeah, that's kind of been an interesting experience, I'll just say that. But they have just been so supportive of me, and really everybody at my school has, so that's good. You know, I was voted prom king, so obviously I do have a lot of support. But yeah, I've won, well, I would say probably, well, a couple of big scholarships, and there's banquets for that I've gone to, and certain graduation type ceremonies and stuff, kind of celebrations, I guess. There's a couple going on tomorrow, and then I've been to some grad parties, of course. I'm going to a few, well, I'm planning on it. I'm not sure if I will, and I'll get to that why in a second. But yeah, so I've been busy these last 3 months, that's for sure. So I know the content has kind of seen a downturn, but it's going to pick right back up when we have summer fun and games here starting May, on Memorial Day, and I think that's May 26th, I want to say. So, or no, it's the night beforehand. It's the Sunday night before. Excuse me. So that would be May 25th. And then really the only other memorable thing that has happened to me so far is today I got into a car accident. So yeah, it was brutal. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't just like a minor fender bender. It was it was a collision. I'll just say that. And I was at fault, which I completely admit to. And yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say on that. Yeah, so other than that, I've just got my graduation party. Well, first graduation takes place, and then my graduation party. In fact, the ceremony's taking place, it's taking place at 2, and then my grad party's at 4:30. So it's boom, 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 kind of like it's gonna be a fun day, despite, you know, everything that's happened to me, well, today and over these last, well, year and a couple of months. So yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. I have an update on Saturday night's show, so that'll be coming up after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Ronnie Show. Well, there was the big whistleblower right there. Yeah, I got into a car accident. So, yeah, that was, yeah, very interesting stuff. In fact, I just bought a new car a couple of days ago as I'm filming this. So, yeah, I like it, though. I like it. I think I like it more already than the one I originally had. So, yeah, I might be showing that to you sometime eventually. So, yeah, but let's get back to the show. Welcome back, everybody. Well, like I said, since I got into the accident today, as I'm filming this, for Saturday night show, we were going to plan on that being the last thing we film in our regular studio. However, because that happened, and we were also going to do like taking a trip back to my roots. We would visit all these places, and I'd tell you about them, some more stories, etc., etc. But But unfortunately now we can't do any of that. So we will still have a Ronnie show for Saturday night. I just got to decide what I want it to be about. And then, yeah, so sorry about that. But yeah, we will have a final show in the studio of some kind. I don't know what. But we'll get that all figured out. Yes. So, yeah, it's going to be a big celebration. It might even be a live show instead of something pre-filmed. So, yeah. We'll find a way for the studio to go out on top. So, yeah, that'll be some... Because I'll be back. Even though I'll be moving up to Sioux Falls, I'll still be back here, you know, during the summer some, and then we'll be... I still plan to do all the Musketeers games at home and away. So, yeah. And, well, and I don't want to give that up because this upcoming season would be will be my 10th season of calling games, you know, a big milestone. So I obviously want to do that. So we'll see what happens. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Well, what did we learn here tonight? I think it's that, you know, accidents happen. So yeah, coming up next here on RVN, we will have NBA coverage Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's coming up next right here on RVN. Thank you all so much for watching, and well, I'll see you here in a few seconds. See ya. Oh my. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, there you go. That is going to do it for our Season 8 premiere, the lost episode that you've been waiting to see. You finally did see it. So, yeah, what do I want to say? Thank you all so much for watching. It's going to be a great season coming up. I've got a feeling it will be. I can't wait to share all of it with you because my life is changing, and, I just noticed I didn't blink for a really long time. Oh, well. Yeah, because my life is definitely changing around here, and I want to take you all along for the ride. So be with me all summer long, every Friday on the Ronnie Show, along with Magic Numbers. We'll also have that too, but it'll be the Ronnie Show, and then it'll be Magic Numbers live. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining us here, and we will see you all next Friday. Well, this upcoming Friday, because today's Saturday, and, well, you know what I mean. Oh, and stay tuned later on tonight for Gigantic Saturday. We're taking over the RVN Late Night Saturday slot. So, yeah, at midnight Eastern Time. It'll technically be Sunday, but you know what I mean. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later tonight at midnight Eastern Time. Peace.